Big news coming in from Afghanistan. Taliban have announced their interim government in the country. Pakistan's ISI's pick, Mullah Mohammad Hassan Akhund, will be the new Afghan Prime Minister. Akhund, meanwhile, is a United Nations designated terrorist, known to be one of the founders of the Taliban. His colleague and Taliban co-founder, Mullah Abdul Ghani Baradar, is going to be the Deputy Prime Minister. Let's take a look at other appointments. Mullah Yaqub, the son of Muhammad Omar, the founder of Taliban, will be acting as the Defense Minister of the Afghanistan cabinet. Sirajuddin Haqqani, the head of the terror group known as the Haqqani Network, is the new acting Interior Minister. The US has placed a $5 million bounty on him already. Khalil al-Rahman Haqqani, who also has a $5 million bounty on his head, declared by the USA, is the new Minister for Refugees. Amir Khan Muttaqi is the new Foreign Minister. Sher Abbasi Stanigzai will be the acting Deputy Foreign Minister. Let's take a look at other names that have also come forth. Amid all this, remember, India Today is the only channel that reported about the Taliban turf war. Remember, the appointment clearly showing now that the Haqqanis have prevailed as they've got major ministry portfolios under their control. And big news now coming in. Taliban refusing to interfere on the Kashmir issue. Taliban spokesperson Suhail Shaheen in an exclusive interview to a Pakistan channel has said that Kashmir is a bilateral matter between the two countries. Now remember, amid all this, while Taliban has announced their government in Afghanistan, what about its religious minorities? Afghan Sikhs and Hindus have left behind a tumultuous life. They are trying to start their life here in India, the country that responded to their desperate pleas. They are back from the brink, hopeful of a future away from the Taliban in Afghanistan. Take a look at this ground report.
Relaxing, playing, finally breathing freedom. Leaving behind tumultuous weeks in Kabul, airlifted by the Indian government now. Completing 14 days quarantine at the Chawla camp of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police in Delhi. The last batch of 53 Afghan Hindus and Sikhs are starting a new life in India. Among friendly faces in a stranger land. 75-year-old Raghubir Singh fled with just one bag in hand.
चार जोड़े कपड़े ले सूट ले गया कुछ और नहीं लिया नहीं और साड़ी सारे अफगानिस्तान ने कर जय जायदाद दुकाना कार सब कुछ असाड़ो थे रह गए उधर बहुत डरे उधर तो डरे के तालिबान से बहुत डरे इतना तालिबान डरे के सारे वाल बड़े बड़े वाल छोड़े बड़ी बड़ी दाढ़ी छोड़े नहीं उसको ले सन में डरा दे
हम लोग आपके साथ हैं, सपोर्ट है, आप लोग ठीक रहे, खुश रहे.
Women in Afghanistan, specifically from the religious minority groups, have suffered the worst under the repressive Taliban rule.
क्या करी मुश्किलात ज़्यादा आ गई, परेशानी ज़्यादा आ गई. बच्चों को ले जाते हैं, मार दें, बच्चों को मार दें, छोड़ दें नहीं है.
डर होता है.
जूड़े पड़ते हैं, पीछे गालां कट दें, बहुत दिमाग खराब. जनानियां नहीं छोड़े, दुपट्टे के अंदर पर्दे करो,
बंद कवर करो.
हाँ, नेल पॉलिश देखे उंगलियां कटता है, हाथ कटता है, मारता है. क्या करिए, बहुत मुश्किलात है. थोड़ा शांति हो गई कि डर नहीं है सानू.
वो वाला वहाँ का
उसका डर नहीं है सानू. मार दे, कार को ले जाता है.
मेरा भी पति नहीं, मैं भी मेरा मुंडा गरीबी बस गया है काबुल थे काम साडा ना है कार ना है मेरा मुंडा गया है कार नहीं कार बार साडे उनके पारे पे मेरा जवान मुंडा मार गया निके निके मशहूर मुझसे रह गए ना
नहीं रो
हमारे आवास का काम कुछ है नहीं है, कामकार है नहीं, एक बंदा कमाने वाला है बस, और क्या कर सकते हैं।
6-year-old Vanchika has thalassemia and needs regular blood replacement. Her mother Simran is unsure whether the next treatment will come from.
मेरा फ्यूचर तो बहुत ज़्यादा तकलीफ में है क्योंकि ये बच्चा बीमार है, ब्लड नहीं बनता, थैलेसीमिया वाला है। हाँ, और अब मुझे बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो रही है कि मैं कैसे हैंडल करूँगी इसको, अगर अपने टाइम पे ब्लड नहीं मिलेगा कैसे हैंडल करूँगी, मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रही इस बात को।
India's Sikh community and the Afghan Sikhs now settled in Delhi are helping the rehabilitation and livelihood of the new incoming refugees. The worst has been left behind. With hope in humanity and a determination to live, Afghanistan's persecuted minority is hopeful to find a better future.
In Delhi, the Afghan Sikhs and Hindus will now want to create a miniature Afghanistan where they can retain their Afghan identity and also retain their ethnic Hindu, Sikh, a religious minority identity as well, leaving behind the sword of Taliban and the fear of death. Remember, now a fresh start in India for the Afghan nationals evacuated by India. This special report with Satya and with Jitendra Bahadur, Pooja Shali for India Today.
In Haryana's Karnal, farmer protests are intensifying. Farmers sitting on an indefinite dharna camped outside the mini secretariat all night. They plan to continue the siege till their demands are accepted. One of the big banners, that is the Samyukta Kisan Morcha, is demanding that the former subdivisional magistrate Ayush Sinha be sacked and even be charged with a case of murder. The umbrella body of farmer unions is demanding that a compensation of 25 lakh rupees be given to the family of deceased, and Karnal farmer Sushil Kajal and rupees 2 lakh each to the farmers injured in police lathi charge of August 28 that basically led to this protest march in Karnal yesterday. Thousands of farmers marched their way to the mini secretariat on Tuesday evening after the talks between union leaders and the administration failed. While the Punjab Congress implosion has been the biggest concern for the party high command for over 2 months now or even more, but Punjab Congress in charge Harish Rawat had a different interpretation to the captain versus Sidhu face-off. He's also the Punjab affairs in charge. He's a senior leader of the party. But when asked about what makes the part-tussle between the two Sardars just not witnessing an end, the former Chief Minister of Uttarakhand said it is a plus point for the party. With less than 7 months left before Punjab goes to elections, Rawat's comment, remember, comes at a time when Sidhu is challenging openly the party high command, the Chief Minister of the state, saying any interference with his authority will not be accepted.
पंजाब बहादुरों की धरती है, लोग अपनी बात कहते हैं, बलपूर्वक कहते हैं, शक्ति के साथ कहते हैं, और लोगों को लगता है कि आप तो कुछ झगड़ा होगा, लेकिन ऐसा नहीं है। वो खुद उसका रेजोल्यूशन, उसका समाधान निकालते हैं, और ऐसा नहीं है कि पंजाब में हम कोई समाधान निकाल रहे हैं। ये तो पंजाब कांग्रेस और उसके नेतागण स्वयं समाधान निकाल रहे हैं, और मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि ये सब एकजुट भाव से चुनाव हो जाएंगे।
कैप्टन वर्सेस सिद्धू अब नहीं है आपके,
यदि होगा भी जब तो ये कांग्रेस के लिए प्लस होगा।
Let's move on to other stories as well, because in Uttar Pradesh's Etah district, a mystery fever is spreading like wildfire. People are clueless, but they're also helpless. There's no one from administration, according to them, who has reached the village to help them or at least make them aware of what to do. Take a look at the special report of what's been happening in Uttar Pradesh on a very basic health level and why are people suffering so much.
26-year-old Krishna is lying on a bed outside a medical store. He has been on a drip after high fever made him weak. An assistant at a medical store is tending to him, giving him injections since there is no doctor present.
क्या तकलीफ थी इनको?
बीपी लो था
और बुखार?
बुखार नहीं था।
फीवर कितना था?
फीवर नहीं था,
बिल्कुल भी नहीं था। कब से दिक्कत हो रही थी?
अभी सुबह ही सही थी।
आज सुबह से?
सुबह से 5-6 बजे थे।
डॉक्टर के पास नहीं गए थे दिखाने?
नहीं आया मैं तुरंत।
इन्होंने कौन सी दवा दी आपने इनको?
मेरे भाई ले गए, मैंने नहीं दी है।
वो डॉक्टर हैं?
हाँ, डॉक्टर हैं।
अच्छा, कहाँ पे काम करते हैं?
उनका मेडिकल है और डॉक्टरी करते हैं।
अच्छा, डॉक्टरी का क्लिनिक है, MBBS हैं?
मुझे नहीं पता, मैं तो जहाँ रहता हूँ केवल।
अच्छा, वो आपके भाई हैं?
हाँ, भाई नहीं है, भाई लगते हैं, मैं तो दूसरे गाँव।
भाई लगते हैं?
हाँ।
अच्छा, और वो दवा लगा के चले गए?
हाँ।
In Bahanpur market of Etah district, the scene is pathetic. Men and women lying on wooden beds outside beauty parlor and stores. The scale of the misery is very visible.
In this entire gallery where these are only shops, the people, those who complained of high fever, platelets down, since there is no arrangement from the administration, neither from the government, when there was no help reached, the locals somehow managed to reach to this one part of this small town, and now here look at the state of treatment, the state of hospitals, the state of governance. This is what is happening in this part of Etah district. Perhaps the situation seems to really being very scary at ground zero.
Etah is the latest place in Uttar Pradesh hit by the mystery fever. The number of residents suffering from high fever and low platelet counts is only going up. As the fever spreads more and more, the state's health infrastructure is exposed.
It's just not one place. In Bahanpur particular, right behind me, this is a shop. As the locals say, there is one doctor who is usually treating people, is now flooded with the patients who are symptomatic, who are high fever. And now the moment camera reached here, he just put down the shutter. And this is what is happening in the remote part of Western Uttar Pradesh, where there are surge in the cases, people suffering from high fever. Most are symptomatic of either viral or dengue.
In On-Ghat village, every household has one or more patients with high fever and other mild symptoms. It's been a fortnight since a district medical team came to the village.
बुखार तो आप जिस घर में घुसेंगे उसमें 2-4 मरीज मिलेंगे आप।
तो अब नहीं आ रहा कोई प्राथमिक चिकित्सा केंद्र वाला या कोई?
अब सर कोई नहीं आ रहा, केवल उसी दिन आए हैं बस, उसके बाद में 2 बार।
सफाई करने वाला, सैनिटाइज करने वाला, स्वास्थ्य
छिड़काव भी कहीं नहीं, हमें तो दिखाई नहीं दिया सर।
डॉक्टर के पास कहीं नहीं गए शहर में या सरकारी अस्पताल नहीं गए?
नहीं, यहीं बानपुर से लेके आते हैं।
कितने दिन से बीमार पड़े हैं सब लोग?
हो गए 6-7 दिन।
Complaints of high fever, platelets down, few even complain of dengue. But since there is no facility, no health infrastructure, largely they are relying on the fake doctors or the quacks in the small towns. And this is how the situation is turning worse to vulnerable. In Etah district, it is no different than Firozabad. But for now, situation remains grim, which requires more and urgent attention from the administration to ensure children as well as senior citizens and the young, everyone get medicines and treatment, those who are suffering from this fever, high fever. In Etah with Sanjay Kumar, I'm Ashutosh Mishra for India Today.
Noida District Magistrate Suhas Yathiraj, who made the entire country proud by clinching a silver medal at the Tokyo Paralympics, spoke to India Today exclusively. The shuttler is the first IAS officer to be on the podium at the Paralympics. Listen in to what he has to say.
Our guest on the show is someone very special. He's an Olympian, he's a silver medalist, and not just that, he's also the district magistrate of Gautam Budh Nagar. Suhas, many congratulations and welcome on the show, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and it's a pleasure to be here. And I would like to thank through you all my fellow countrymen who have wished, who have showered lots of love, blessings, and it's a pleasure to be back in India. And I dedicate this silver medal to all my fellow Indians, all my fellow countrymen and people of Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka, Noida, Gautam Budh Nagar. Everybody has been extremely kind. Thank you so much.
You know, it's such an honor to be talking to a powerhouse couple, incidentally. We also have Ritu with us, who's the additional district magistrate and someone who's actually the source of strength for Suhas. Ma'am, you have to tell us, how did he prepare for the Olympics?
I think the accolades which he is winning is actually the hard work which he has put in all this while. It involves a lot of discipline, not just for one day or a year, but past 6 to 7 years he has pulled in, and it involved lots of strength exercises, practices, diet patterns, no holidays, and regular practice.
Regular practice, diet, exercise, and you know, one thing about you is once you've decided that you have to do it, you end up doing it. I mean, whether it is sitting for UPSC, becoming an IAS officer, or winning an Olympic medal. Tell us about your journey.
Growing up, I wanted to be an engineer, so I joined NIT Surathkal, joined an MNC, and then I felt there is some lacuna in my work, so I wanted to be a civil servant. So I was fortunate to get into the IAS, and then I have always played sports since my childhood, and I was playing cricket, volleyball, badminton, everything. In 2016, I decided to play professionally. So after that, the journey of sport also has been very good. In 2016 in Beijing, I won the Asian Championship gold medal, and in the last 5 years in any sport, Olympics, Paralympics is the highest culminating point. There is no bigger event than Olympics or Paralympics. To win a medal there is probably the greatest feeling any person or any sports person can have. I think destiny has been extremely kind to me. I have always believed in my life that if you really want something in life and if you put your heart and soul into it, destiny does give you that. It's just that along the way you will find some hiccups. You will always find people doubting your abilities. But I would like to say to the youngsters, believe in yourself, keep moving forward. One day Cosmos will conspire and give what you want.